Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to DG Modelworks. I'm here today with another review video. Athearn has sent me this HO scale, ready to roll SW1500 in the Conrail livery. And this one has Tsunami 2 sound. Now, I have a soft spot for Conrail Blue. As a kid, that's what operated in my area. So that's what I saw. And I saw plenty of these SW1500s go by my house on the local branch line. So I'm really excited to check this out. So without any more interruptions, let's get started. If you would like to see more content from my channel, be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified of future videos. As we unbox this, I would like to mention this release was announced over 2 years ago, so it is a little late coming out. And I did mention this is the sound version that includes Soundtraxx Tsunami 2 on board. And that is because back when these were announced, there was a chip shortage going on. So Athearn has decided to install the Tsunami 2 soundboard instead of the Economy, because obviously they were hard to get at the time. Not all ready to rolls come with Tsunami 2 sound, just certain releases. If you remember, I did a review video back in April on the ready to roll SD40-2 high hood Norfolk Southern that also had Tsunami 2 installed, and it was like I said, one of those releases right around the same time where there was a chip shortage, so they opted to use Tsunami 2 instead of Economy. And this, like I said, is another one of those. I'll pull this off. Standard blister packaging. You do have a Tsunami 2 diesel quick start guide with some information on CVs and features on this locomotive. You do have an exploded parts diagram and some warranty information here. And we have our blister packaging with handrail protectors. So we'll get these removed and get this on the track. There we have it, out of the box and on the track. Now, this release of the SW1500s include the Western Pacific, Wisconsin Central, Cotton Belt, Conrail, Burlington Northern, and 2 versions of Undecorated. This SW1500 release is packed full of features, along with some new features for this release that I will cover here in a minute. Some of the standard features include detailed cab interior, front and rear train line hoses and coupler cut levers, see-through radiator grills, printed number boards, and operates on an 18-inch minimum radius. Some of the new features for this release: operating ground lights. Now that's something you don't normally see on a ready-to-roll. A new, more powerful and quieter motor, which is something that I pointed out in a previous review video. DCC ready models feature a 21-pin plug for the decoder of your choice. DCC and sound models feature Soundtraxx Tsunami 2 sound and a cube speaker. Well, they say dual cube speaker, but from the picture that I'm going to show you, it looks like a single cube speaker only. And of course, it has LED lighting all the way around. MSRP for these without sound is $219.99, and with Tsunami 2 sound it's $319.99 US dollars. Now that's MSRP. Most hobby shops and online retailers sell it for way less than that, such as my go-to hobby shop, Midwest Model Railroad. They currently have the non-sound versions for $179 and the sound versions for $261 US dollars. So be sure to shop around. Don't let the MSRP value scare you. That's just a number that is a suggested retail price, but that's not what it typically sells for. So shop around, you will find it much cheaper. Some of the features that I did mention on the inside of this locomotive, like I said, it accepts a 21-pin decoder. So you can either buy it with Tsunami 2 or buy it DCC ready and install your own decoder. Here you see the new motor, and what I assume is just a single cube speaker. That's not the normal dual cube speaker, and it doesn't look like there's one underneath that. It's just a single cube speaker enclosure from what I can tell. But anyways, I wanted to give you guys a look at the inside of this. Let's go over some of the highlighted features of this locomotive. There you see the coupler cut lever and the train line hoses. You do see an MU receptacle right here. LED lighting, which we'll cover in a little bit. Printed number boards. These are non-operating number boards. I mean, they don't light up. That's reserved for some of the Genesis 2.0 models. Here we have the see-through radiator grills, and I will say the lettering on this is awesome. I mean, really sharp lettering. Nicely done. Here is a glimpse of the truck detail, and it does even have, it has some underbody piping even. Here we have the horn, some separately applied grab irons, separately applied wipers, separately applied sunshades. Very nice molded on detail, and check that out, legible warning labels. And check this out, they even have the emergency fuel cutoff. The rear pilot has much of the same detail. The train line hoses, coupler cut levers, MU receptacle. I didn't mention on the front, but it's standard Athearn McHenry scale couplers, which are KD compatible, or you can install your own couplers if you do not like these ones. All the railings are nice. Really much of the same as the front, except for the railings. Leading up to the full cab interior, you do see some see-through steps. And again, look at that cab interior. This side of the locomotive is basically the same as the other side, except for some additional grab irons up the side and the speedometer cable. Now, if you happen to purchase the Soundtraxx Tsunami 2 version, you start that up by applying track power. I will note that I lowered the volume on this. It was pretty loud outside of the, right out of the box. So I did lower that, especially for the sake of this video. My camera mic is very sensitive. I mentioned that before. If you would like to adjust the master volume on yours, that's CV number 128, and you can enter a value anywhere between 0 and 255, with 255 being the loudest. I think I have mine lowered to a value of 100. So let's apply track power. There's the startup sequence to the horn. The bell. And function 8 will mute this. There we go, we have it muted. Now we can check the headlight and rear light and the ground lights. There we have the all LED headlight. And the rear light. Okay, I killed some of the lights in the room so you could see the ground lights. And see, I can use my mirror to see the LED. There's the LED up underneath there. But it does have operating ground lights. Now this is on the brightest setting. If you get your locomotive and you're not happy with the brightness of your ground lights, that would be CV number 61 that would control that. Now the ground lights come on automatically. They're not on a separate function on your controller. But if you would like them brighter, that's CV number 61. And you can set that anywhere a value of 0 to 255, with 255 being the brightest. From the factory it was set at 50, so it was not very bright. What you see here is value 255. I maxed it out. So you can do that yourself if you're not satisfied with the brightness, or you would like to change the brightness. Alright, let's take a trip down the test track. What do you say? Pretty nice. Alright, what do you say we do a quiet run test? Wow, I don't hear anything from that driveline. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright guys, there is something I need to point out. I did operate this locomotive before I did the operating part of this video. And right out of the box, this locomotive was herky and jerky a little bit in speed step 1 and 2. Now I did do a break-in period with it, and that seemed to correct a lot of the problem. But it was still a little bit herky and jerky at speed step 1. To fix that, if you run into that situation, what you want to do is change CV number 211. Now 211 is the slow speed control of the Hyperdrive 2 system of the Tsunami 2. So you can play around with those values. I ended up raising the value in mine to correct that speed step 1 issue. I believe it was set at like 190 from the factory. You do have the ability to set it anywhere between 0 and 255. 255 of course being the max. So I bumped mine up, and that seemed to correct that. You may not have that issue, but if you do, That's a simple way to fix it. CV number 211, and bump that value up. Now what you can do, if you want to know some of this information, you can visit Soundtraxx website, and they have the PDF versions of the in-depth manuals on the Tsunami 2. You can read it for free, or you can print it out, save it, but it is a lot of pages. Let me see if I can show you here. As you can see, I printed mine out, and it's in a binder, and it is a lot of pages. But I do have this for reference on a lot of this information regarding Tsunami 2 equipped locomotives. Lots of good info. But as you can see, with me bumping that value up, there's speed step 1, and that smoothed it right out. That's speed step 1. It's moving along nicely. Also, since this is a Tsunami 2 decoder, it does feature the digital dynamic exhaust. And right here's the section explaining that and how to set it up. Basically, it's just provides a little bit more realistic experience for you if you don't know what that is. Basically, the decoder senses the load that's put on the motor by how many cars you're pulling or going up or down a hill, and it will automatically notch up or notch down the prime mover sound to give that more realistic feature of a real locomotive. So there, you're able to set that up with this release of the SW1500. And like I said, it's the instructions are all included with the locomotive on how to set that up. Okay, I figured we'd operate this locomotive a little bit. I did set up the digital dynamic exhaust, so you should be able to hear the prime mover notch up and down as we are operating this to simulate the real thing. Now, what I plan on doing is backing up through this into my yard, and we'll connect to these string of cars and take it out on my branch line, kind of just like it was when I was a kid. This may not be prototypical as far as what cars this thing is pulling, especially when we get to the pull test that I'd like to do. The era for this locomotive would be the 70s and 80s. So, like I said, some of the consists that I'm pulling may not be prototypical. This is mainly just for testing this locomotive. All of my turnouts are number 6 micro engineering turnouts, and the frogs are not powered. And this will operate just fine through those. It's all-wheel drive and all-wheel pickup. You hear the prime mover notching up and down. I'll tell you, I know I had to tweak a couple things, but this thing is amazing. I love it. It's running really good, really smooth right now. Like I said, if you run into any issues, try the couple quick fixes that I mentioned in this video. But I'll tell you what, I have a soft spot for Conrail Blue. I know I try to model a lot of Norfolk Southern, but I grew up with Conrail in my younger years, and yeah, I love Conrail. Like I said, you see a lot of Norfolk Southern, but Conrail it ranks right up there with me. Like I said. But anyways, this thing, I'm really loving it. And if you are interested in these, they are available right now at most of your retail hobby shops and online hobby shops. Again, check out Midwest Model Railroad at Independence, Missouri, or MidwestModelRR.com. They do have these in stock, and they are a lot cheaper than MSRP. And you can't beat that Tsunami 2 sound if you're wanting to get this release, because normally they have Economy sound. And I'm not sure if they would have ground lights if it had the Economy sound, because I just don't think they had enough functions for it. But I could be wrong, because I mean, all you have on these are the headlight and the rear light, so you don't have a lot of functions used. So it'll be interesting going forward to see if they continue to use ground lights on these. And I'd imagine they go back to the Economy sound for the Ready to Roll line, which I believe now they're going to call just Athearn. So you'll have Athearn Genesis, Athearn, which would be the Ready to Roll, but they're dropping the Ready to Roll slogan. And then you will have Athearn Roundhouse for the bottom of the price range of their models, along with the detailing. But yes, definitely this. I love this thing. Like I said, especially love the Conrail Blue. So let's load this thing up with a string of cars and see how much this will pull. It is a little bit lighter than the the MP15AC that I just reviewed here about a month ago. The MP15AC, it weighed in at 10.1 ounces, and this SW1500 weighs in at 8.85 ounces. So it's a little bit over 1 ounce lighter, so I don't expect it's going to pull as much. But again, this is a switcher. Mainly would have been used, you know, switching your yard tracks or smaller branch line service. So you wouldn't normally be pulling a lot of cars with this anyways, realistically. But it is interesting to see how much a locomotive can pull, just for reference. Alright, let's finish this video with a pull test. I have 24 random cars on this locomotive. Again, I realize it's not a prototypical consist, especially for the era of this locomotive, but the purpose of this video is a pull test. For my layout, I do have a spot that has a slight incline, so 24 cars is pretty much maxed out. It easily does this on a level section, but with the incline it does struggle a little bit, but it does make it with some wheel slip. So I'm maxed out at 24 cars. If you have a perfectly level layout all the way around, you could get away with probably pulling 4 or 5 more cars in addition to this. Alright, let's do the pull test, and you'll be able to really hear that digital dynamic exhaust as it starts pulling this load of cars. It will be notching up to get that thing moving, although, I mean, that's just the sound. The motor doesn't do anything, but it will simulate the locomotive notching up to get that heavy load pulling. So take a listen for that, and let's go. And this will be the end of the video after the pull test. So you guys take care, and I'll see you on the next video.